Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for 6 things that we learned from Porto 0, Chelsea 2. I'm sorry if I don't seem as crazily energetic as you would expect. I've just had to film this video for a second time already after the game because the memory card literally broke as I inserted it into the laptop for the last one. And I can't record on it anymore. So I've had to convert to the phone. But if you guys are new around here, then make sure you subscribe to GBFC if you haven't already done so, because, well, it's looking now like Chelsea may be able to make it to a Champions League semi-final. When the draw was made, you guys know, I went a little bit crazy in this very chair, in this very office with the Yes Guys GBFC sign behind me, because it was a favourable draw. On the other side of the coin tonight, you got Bayern Munich and PSG. I actually haven't even seen what the score in that game was yet. I think it was 2-2 when I last checked, but Chelsea don't even have to play them if we get into the semi-finals. Real Madrid looked very good last night against Liverpool, but it is only half-time in this Champions League tie. We can't get too carried away, but I certainly want to enjoy this first leg victory. It was a brilliant, composed Chelsea performance. The goals were scored by Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell, Chelsea and England's very own. It was a very professional performance from a team where, you got players like Reece James out there, Chilwell still very young. Christensen isn't old exactly, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Christian Pulisic coming on. There were so many young players in this Chelsea team. And before we get into any of the boxes, I just want to say overall, I wanted to get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League this season as one of my top goals to where I think this Chelsea team can go. The fact that I can now sit here and make a video like this one at half-time in a quarterfinal, but we're 2-0 up, makes me very, very proud and happy indeed. If that isn't reason enough to hit the like button, then make sure you do so. 15,000 likes is my target. I know you guys can absolutely smash it. We move into box number 1, and it is for Mason Mount. The man was absolutely exceptional tonight. I want to talk through the goal because to me, this goal epitomizes everything that is brilliant about Mason Mount. First things first, it is a beautiful pass from Jorginho into his feet, but still, there is so much for him to do. He's got to move his body on the turn of shoulder, and I've said this before, I don't think there are many midfielders in world football right now who are as good at receiving the ball with their back to a defender and just swiveling to actually turn the player behind him than Mason Mount. I think it's very important that we established in the early stages of Mason Mount's Chelsea career that in terms of being a big physical presence, he's not going to be there shoulder barging other defensive midfielders or the centre-backs off the ball. That isn't what he's going to be good at. So what he's done is he's cultivated for himself this incredible technique where when the ball is played, he can just little roulette to the side, little turn here, little feint, little side, the shoulder drops and then he's gone. It was a brilliant turn. And then the finish, as the cat starts flipping, meowing, I almost said barking behind me, I'm losing me marbles here, it's an early one. The finish is perfect. He doesn't dwell on it, he doesn't wait, he doesn't take another touch just because he's oh blimey, look where I've managed to be. He's arriving in the box and he drills it into the bottom corner of the net with enough power and perfect precision to score a goal at a very perfect time for Chelsea. Porto, after the first 10 minutes, I think Chelsea dominated the opening 10. Then Porto really grew into the game. They started to play with confidence. They started to make little combinations and final passes in the final third that were very useful. Chelsea defended it incredibly well, but the goal came at a perfect time. And to see Mason Mount score a goal for Chelsea in a Champions League quarter-final of such importance is a beautiful thing for the eye to behold. We move into box number 2, and I thought it was one of the best performances I've seen from Reece James for quite some time. It's an interesting one in the Champions League because referees, they don't even need to think twice to get the yellow card out. It's like they're on commission for how many times they can show the card quite often in the Champions League. And there were many times tonight where Porto players were getting involved with Reece James and he just puts his shoulder in the way. There's no way the referee can book him because, well, it's just a clear sign that strength levels of an average footballer is here. Reece James, we're going to take it off the top of the camera. He was absolutely brilliant, and I think there were very big moments for him tonight where Porto were attacking with a lot of pace, but Reece James wasn't having any of it. No one was getting past him. He was incredibly calculated with the forward runs that he made, and then all of his defensive duties were executed brilliantly in this game tonight for Chelsea. I thought it was brilliant from Reece, and we move into box number 3, and you guys know that it is for Benjamin bloody Chilwell. Every time that I do a preview and I'm thinking about the left back, I want to put Ben Chilwell in there, but I think Tuchel's going to pick Alonso because of how good Alonso is going forward. After West Brom on Saturday, it was always going to be Ben Chilwell starting this game tonight, and boy, did he vindicate that decision and confidence from Thomas Tuchel for him to start. The goal is a thing of beauty. It reminds me, and I know we're all going to be thinking this, Fernando Torres, he rounded the keeper against Barcelona, he secured it for Chelsea, second goal of the night. Ben Chilwell rounds the Porto goalkeeper, scores Chelsea's second goal of the night, and it gives us serious confidence now going into that second leg, which is the home leg next Tuesday night. Chilwell I thought was excellent. All of his defensive work I thought was good. He tried to get forward as much as he can, and I think it shows that he knows that as a wing-back, he's expected to be able to offer a lot more going forward. So when I saw it open up for him to be able to progress and attack the ball to get the one-on-one, I was like, please, Ben, this is exactly what Alonso would be doing perfectly. You've got to score this. You've got to get on the end of this, do whatever you need to do to get that ball past the goalkeeper and see the net bulging. He did that. It was a brilliant goal. And I think all round today, both Reece and Ben Chilwell allowed Chelsea to create a lot of chances and control the shape and the space on the pitch for the game to be played. We move into box number 4, and it is another Champions League clean sheet yet to concede in knockout football in a Chelsea shirt. It is Big Edu Mendy. It was a fantastic performance from Mendy today. Some big saves in there, and something that you might not have caught on the commentary and on the live video of the game was that when that corner comes in for Porto that we think might be drifting in under the crossbar, Mendy actually sees the danger of this so early. You can hear it in the commentary. He's like, keepers! And he's already making that move because he's aware that he's got to be very sharp to see that this ball might actually come in under his toes and dip under the crossbar. It's a brilliant save. And then there was also the one where he saved down low, a couple of saves that he hold on to, and then the one from Marega where he saves it with his legs for a corner. That was a dangerous effort, and everything Mendy had to do today, even from the back passes, where he had to sort his feet out, which has often been something I've questioned in Mendy, he executed everything perfectly. I thought he did a very good job today. He was very vocal. From the commentary that I was watching as well, there wasn't any fan noise, so it was good to hear him ordering players around to be, being that leader directly from the back when Thiago Silva's not on the pitch. Somebody has to take that mantle. It was brilliant from Mr. Mendy. And we move into box number 5. And I'm going to talk about composure a little bit here. And I want to give some serious credit to this Chelsea team where I've already mentioned it earlier. So many young players out on the field. You see people like Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Ben Chilwell, Mason Mount, Reece James, just to name a couple. Christensen's not exactly the youngest, the oldest either. So very young Chelsea team, quarter-final of the Champions League. It's different gravy in terms of the magnitude, the importance. To some of these players, this will have been the biggest game they've played in their careers so far. And I think everything we did tonight was done in such a professional, mature manner that I can literally sit here with a giant grin on my face with so much confidence now that we are in full control of this tie and that we should progress come next week. Not taking anything away from Porto, I thought they brought the threat that I knew they would, but there was nothing out there that made me think that we're really here for the taking here. We looked in control right from the beginning all the way through to the end, and I actually think it's a shame in a way, despite I don't want to complain about this, but it could have easily been 3 or 4-0, and I don't think anyone would have really questioned whether Chelsea deserved that level of a lead. But on the same kind of note, I finished with box number 6, and I was going to give it a yellow for the fact that it's half time in the tie, but I thought, you know what? There's no way that I can have 5 green boxes end on a yellow after a 2-0 Champions League quarter-final victory. Of course I couldn't, so it's a green. I think Chelsea getting an away goal was always going to be key. To not concede too many and to maybe take a 1-1 draw at worst case scenario of the best case scenarios, if you understand what I mean. That would have been Chelsea's goal. To keep a clean sheet, to look very comfortable, and to get 2 away goals under our belts, it's actually as good of a half-time as we could have possibly wished for in this Champions League quarter-final tie. Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea are getting very close. After Real Madrid beat Liverpool 3-1 last night and the performance from both teams, it looks as though a Real Madrid-Chelsea return of Eden Hazard Champions League semi-final could be on the cards. I'm not going to let myself get too carried away. I'm going to go into things in a bit more detail in the player ratings for the Chelsea players tomorrow from Porto 0, Chelsea 2. I want to say a massive thank you for watching this video to everybody who is new around here, who's subscribed, or if you've been subscribed for the longest time here on GBFC. Thank you so much for the support. It makes everything that we do here that much more enjoyable. When we win, I'm not just here at 5 in the morning on my own, enjoying it by myself. I've got all of you lot to enjoy it with as well. So, semi-final, second leg, getting carried away. Quarter-final, second leg is in a week's time. I just pray we get the job done, but it's been a perfect start. Thank you guys for watching. See you all later. Come on, you Blues.